Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? Well, I'm going to get inside these barns and I'm going to make them a little better, make them a little more useful, get things organized. Because you know what? When we moved in here, there was what you see here, but there was a whole lot of mess. I mean, it was at a point where you have to look at something like this and one person might look at it and go, tear that down. I do not want to deal with it. And another person, like myself, look at that and go, what can I do to make this useful? And that's what I really set out to do when I moved in here. And it's been a year and I think I've gotten these barns to a pretty good state. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I just finished building these two walls on the ends of these barns. And now that is just taking these structures and putting them beyond that tipping point of where the wind and weather is going to deteriorate and destroy these buildings to a point where they can stay and be sustainable and I can continue to work on improving them. Because believe me, I know how fortunate I am to have these structures. This is a 40 by 40 barn that I am simply using to process firewood in inclement weather. And this barn, where I keep all of my equipment, is 40 by 60. Now, how much do you think it would cost today if I built a 40 by 40 barn, concrete floor, and a 40 by 60 barn with a concrete floor? Yeah, leave your estimate in the comments. I know it wouldn't be cheap. I know I couldn't afford it. So these structures I have, which is why I'm improving them as best as I can, and the more I improve them, the better they're gonna get and the longer they're gonna last. So today, here's what I have to do. So the north end of the barn is good. Where I built the wall, it's cleaned up, it's fantastic, ready for winter. But this end of the barn needs some work. This end of the barn has become where everything is stored, from mower to trailers and all kinds of implements and everything. And I would not be a good steward of what I have if I didn't at least try to get this all organized so I can make the best use of the space. This area right here I like to use as a workbench, but that workbench is supported by a couple of sawhorses, so I need to mount that to the wall and make it permanent. It's super dark in here and I do have a plan for lighting, but this shelf system here is messy, but I know where everything is and it's just gonna have to stay the way it is for now. This corner over here needs the most work for sure. All of my garden tools are just kind of thrown in the corner and I need to desperately do something about that. This side over here I'm pretty happy with. I want to keep all the rear or 3-point implements along here so I could just back up to them and hook them up. Of course, that being said, this post hole digger is out of place, but all of the front implements are supposed to go over here along this wall, and that definitely needs some work. Now, when you look at this open space, you might think, well, Sam, look at all the space you've got to put stuff. I don't want to put things in this open space because I need room to maneuver. I need room to move around and get to things. So this absolutely has to stay open. Now, I don't know how most people tackle a project like this, but I find when it comes to organizing, the best thing for me is to take everything out, start with a blank slate, and then put it back in the way it should be. With that, certainly is a whole lot better. I got a clean slate. So what's the goal? The goal is to be able to put all these tools back and hang them up so that when I need something, I can just walk over here and get to it. I'm not tripping over things and it's all right where I need to get to it. So I'm going to use this Rubbermaid Fast Track. It's kind of nice actually. I've had this single piece here for gosh, it's got to be 20 years that I've been using this stuff. But, so if you're going to use this stuff, and you're going to use one of these attachments, when they hook on like that, you got to have a flat wall behind it. If I hang this up in between those studs, this will just twist it and it won't work the way it's supposed to. It has to have a flat wall to sit against. So I got to make a flat wall. My flat wall is going to be this 4x8 sheet of 1/2-inch plywood. Slap it up there. It'll reach from this stud here over to beyond this stud. So I'm going to put in another stud. I'm going to put it in over here to catch the end of it. Now I don't have a level with me to check and make sure this is plumb. So here's a trick. Just hold a string. Right now I got a bungee cord. Just hang it somewhere near it. Yeah, that's good enough. All right, now let's get our piece of plywood up there. Hello. That was my mom. She's looking for something to do. She's gonna come down and help. Sweet. You know? I'm gonna clamp this and then I can go look at the other end and make sure I'm lined up. This one. I can help over here too. Thank you. So that's good enough. I think it's time now we're gonna try and mount this workbench. That's in. That's good. Hey, thank you.
You're very welcome. I had fun.
Yeah.
I was bored. I needed to do something.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, that is really good. I'm glad my mom came by and just helped a bunch. It's a big help to have somebody holding stuff for you, just giving you a hand, and I really love spending time with my parents. That's the best part, of course. Let's get some more done tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's so nice coming down here in the morning and seeing this. It's a really good start. That whole corner's cleaned out. Almost all of my garden tools are hung up there. I ordered a couple more hooks, you know, just because I've got some things. Anyway, the workbench being mounted there, big deal. And you know, it's got tools on it right now, but I'm gonna, of course, that'll be completely clear. I like to have a nice clean workbench. You come down, you set your tools on it, get your job done, then just clean it off so it's ready for you next time. It's not cluttered, right? Anyway, so next thing to do, that wall over there is for all of my front end implements. I'm gonna get them organized and in place over against that wall and try and get things, if I know where it goes, that's where I'm gonna put it. That is so much more like it. Look at all of that beautiful space. My goodness. Yeah, that's gonna make this a whole lot more useful. So let's just go over it real quick. Here's what this corner looked like. Now remember, this corner is intended for semi-permanent seasonal storage. And here's what it looks like now. It's still cluttered, but it's more organized and the correct things are in this corner that I'm not gonna need, or at least I hope I don't need, until spring. And over along this wall is where I'm keeping all of my rear implements so I can just very easily back up and hook them up and use them. Once again, this area doesn't look that different. Here's the before, and now it looks like this, but it's mounted to the wall, and when I take all of my tools off of it, I've got a nice clean workbench to set my tools on and get things done. By far the biggest improvement has to be this space here. This is fantastic. I can walk over and get to any of my garden tools that I need to, just take them off the hooks. Like I said, I've got a couple more hooks ordered that I'm going to use for other tools. All of my front implements are right here. I just drive in and switch them out. And you know what? Winter's coming, and the number one implement I use in the winter happens to be the pallet forks. Yeah, because I'm usually doing firewood. Speaking of firewood, that is the next big goal. I am going to start making some firewood for next year so I can sell it at the end of next year. I've got tons of logs in that firewood barn that need processed, and I am so looking forward to getting back to that. I cannot remember the last time I split a piece of wood. It's been a while. It's been a long while. A lot of you know I'm my happiest person. I am my best self when I'm in there splitting firewood, getting a good workout, and I really enjoy doing it. So we're going to be doing that probably next video you see. I'm going to be in that firewood barn because, yeah, I need to do it. I really do. So I appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for watching. And you know, if you've got a space, doesn't have to be this big. I know I'm very blessed to have this, but if you've got a space that just needs organized so you can do a better job and be able to accomplish more, just get out there and do it. Get out there and do it before the weather changes and you're stuck in the winter. So anyway, like I said, appreciate you stopping by. Hit that subscribe button, like it, hit the bells and all the other buttons, and I will see you next time when I am doing more stuff.